Numeron is an OTK deck that got reprinted in Maximum Gold Eldorado. An important Numeron card is Numeron Wall. If you control no cards except Numeron Walls, you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard, activate one Numeron network directly from your hand or deck, which is your important field spell that will get all your plays going. And you can also, when you take battle damage, special summon this card from your hand. If you do, end the battle phase after the damage step. So this can also help you protect you for a turn. 3. Planet Pathfinder. You contribute this card, add one field spell from your deck to your hand. This also helps you get to the field spell if you don't already have it. 3. Jizukuri-Ru, the star-destroying kaiju. You can special summon this card from your hand to your opponent's field and attack position by attributing one monster they control. So this can help you remove a threat that might negate your field spell. 1. Dino Wrestler Pankratops. If your opponent controls more monsters than you do, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon it once per turn this way, but you can also attribute one Dino Wrestler monster, then target one card your opponent controls, destroy it. So this helps you to get through some back row or monsters, and also clears your monster zone after itself, which is what you need for the field spell. 3. Archfiend Eccentric. You can tribute this card when on the field and target one monster on the field, destroy it. So it's another form of monster removal, but also you can place it in the pendulum zone and then target one other spell or trap card on the field, destroy both it and this card. So it also can help you get through back row. 3. Swift Scarecrow. When an opponent monster declares a direct attack, you can discard this card, negate the attack, then end the battle phase. So this lets you be able to live for another turn. 3. Numeron Network. This is your field spell. During your main phase, you can send one Numeron normal spell card that meets its activation conditions from your deck to the graveyard. This effect becomes that spell's effect when that card is activated. And you can only use that effect once per turn. And then also Numeron Exceed monsters you control can activate effects without detaching materials. This is really helpful to be able to OTK, because this is your starter card. 1. Terraforming to search the field spell. 3. Numeron Calling. If Numeron Network is in your field zone and you control no monsters, special summon up to 4 Numeron Gate Exceed monsters with different names from your extra deck, but banish them during the end phase. Also, you can only normal or special summon once for the rest of this turn. This is how you can get lots of bodies onto the field to be able to kill your opponent with. 3. Memories of Hope. Draw cards equal to the number Exceed monsters with different names you control. You can only activate 1 Memories of Hope per turn, but you special summon up to 4 monsters, so you can get 4 draws out of 1 card, which is really cool. 3. Hatronade. Return all set spells and traps on the field to the hand. This can help you to clear the way of back row, because pretty much any back row could potentially stop the deck. 2. Herald of the Abyss. Pay 1,500 life points and declare 1 monster type and 1 attribute. Your opponent must send 1 face-up monster with declared type and attribute from the field to the graveyard, if possible. For the rest of the turn, your opponent cannot activate the effects of monsters with that sent monster's name. So this just helps you to clear another monster off the field to be able to OTK, or to, once again, get a negate out of the way. 3. Book of Moon. This is like a spell interruption. You can target 1 face-up monster on the field, change that target to face-down defense position. It's a good card to have. 3. Limiter Removal. Double the attack of all machine monsters you currently control, and the monsters you will be special summoning from the extra deck are all machine. And then this is until the end of this turn, and during the end phase of this turn, destroy those monsters. But you usually will link away with them, or you'll win that turn, so it won't matter too much. And sometimes you won't be able to OTK just with those 4 monsters and need just a little more attack. So this is a pretty good card for that. 1. Exceeds Import. Target 1 Exceed monster you control and 1 monster your opponent controls with attack less than or equal to it. Attach that opponent's monster to your monster as material. Your Exceed monsters that you summon can get pretty big over time, so you can take one during the battle phase and be able to attack directly for game if your opponent has too many monsters. 1. Metaverse. Take 1 field spell from your deck and either activate it or add it to your hand. This just helps you to get your field spell more. And 1. Red Reboot. When your opponent activates a trap card, negate the activation, and if you do, set that card face down. Then they can set 1 other trap directly from the deck. For the rest of this turn, after this card resolves, your opponent cannot activate trap cards. You can activate this card from your hand by paying half your life points. So this is just really good to stop all of their back row once again, so you can go for game. And for the extra deck, we have 3 number 1 Numeron Gate Ekhelm. All of the number monsters we're summoning have the same effect. They cannot be destroyed by battle, and at the end of the damage step, if this card battled an opponent's monster, you can detach 1 materia from this card, double the attack of all Numeron monsters you currently control until the end of this turn. And also with the field spell, you don't have to detach, so they keep doubling up to 16,000, but you'll usually attack with 8,000, hopefully directly, for game. Then 3 number 2, 3 number 3, still with the same effect, and 3 number 4, Numeron Gate Katvari. And for the other monsters you might summon after you summon all 4 of the other ones is 1 number C1 Numeron Chaos Gate Sunya. You can also exceed summon this card by using 1 number 1 Numeron Gate Ekhelm. You control it as material. And then if this card is exceed summon, banish all monsters on the field. And once per turn during your next standby phase after this card was banished, you can special summon this banished card. Then if Numeron Network is in your field zone, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the combined attack of all banished exceeds monsters. So if you don't happen to kill your opponent in one turn, this can help you do damage on your next turn. 1 Saryuja Skulldread. The 2+ monsters with different names is required, and the important effect is when you use 4. When this card is link summoned, you can draw 4 cards and place 3 cards from your hand on the bottom of your deck in any order, so you can use all 4 of your exceed monsters to search your deck a little bit. And also 1 Infinitrack Fortress Megaclops. 3 exceed monsters is required. This is pretty easy to get. And then it's unaffected by other monster effects except those of exceed monsters, and cannot be destroyed by battle except with an exceed monster. You can target 1 exceed monster in your graveyard and 1 card your opponent controls. Special summon that monster from your graveyard. And if you do, attach the opponent's card to it as material. Also for the rest of this turn, any damage your opponent takes is halved. You can only use that effect once per turn, but it's just a pretty good monster that can be hard to get out if they don't run a lot of exceed monsters. And that's the deck at only $16.76. It is a pretty fun OTK deck that can kill your opponent out of nowhere, especially if you're not ready for it. Thanks for watching.